Okay, we're going to continue with our maps. The last one that we did was this mountain low. So if I was to run this, we'll see the footprints appear here. And I want to make sure that the speed is the right speed that I want for this. That looks okay. And so the next state is we want to go to the mountain medium. So we need to make a new spline for that. So I'm going to create a new game object here. Call it Spline Trail 6. And we're going to add a Bezier spline. Weird. Oh, it's because I'm in runtime. So here we go. So we're going to add a new Spline Trail 6. And we're going to call it a Bezier spline. And that'll move it up here, so I'll move the object down here. And the tail. Okay. So our first one, we want to go around this corner. And we want to have this as aligned points. So the speed is representative of these tangent lines. And I don't want to get them too far apart or too close together because I want to keep the speed pretty consistent. So I'll add a curve which is aligned like that. And then we'll add another curve. And now kind of what I want to do is just kind of condense these a little bit. One of these points is not aligned. No, that's wrong. This is going to go too fast here. And then we'll just finish this curve up here. So that's definitely too far. I'll add a curve off this one. Like that. Okay. So on this, we're going to look at my target And this is my state 5. Map desert trails state 5. And this one's going to be mountain medium. Up here, 4, 5, so this is going to be 5, 6. And the duration will be 4. Okay, if I look at those look correct. So when I look back at my target for this one, we can add a new state called 6. And it wants to have spline trail 6. We're going to have the same things. And now on my state, I can change this to be mountain medium. And I'll give it a run. When I look down at my scriptable object for this one, mountain medium, when I look at this, we actually want to do trails 5 again here. And this state is state 5. Okay, its state was wrong. Should have been 5, 6. Should be 5, 6 again. If I look at my textures, we're going to add in here a 5.1. Cut this. Out like that. Make a duplicate. Like that. And this one will be 5.3. So up here we can have 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3. It's the worst little microphone. Okay. And then 5.1, 5.2, and then 5.3. And now I'm probably not going to keep this. So instead of doing this, let's go back to just having one. And instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. So when I have my state, here, I want to have a public map state SO, map state next SO. So when you're doing your start movement, you're firing this event here. We're going to do that again. So what I'm going to do is look at my Spline Walker script and just grab this event. And I can say Spline Walker event question mark dot invoke my sender and my args. So over here, when I do my protected virtual void awake, and then I also want to have a public override dispose, and I want to do my if my map player script is not equal to null, then I want to do my map player script dot event minus equals my on Spline Walker event. And up here we're going to do map player script dot Spline Walker event plus equals to on Spline Walker event. Okay. So when I do this, we want to switch on my args type. And so if it's done, we're going to add a protected map state here called state current. like that. Looks like over here, we want to get this one like that. So here we want to add in the t dot type equals map render target type and like that. Okay. And so now when this thing is done, if my state current does not equal to null and my state current dot map state next does not equal to null, then what I want to do is I want to set the map script right here. And here I want to say my map script dot and then you want to get the render target scripts, and you want to get the first or default where the target type is equal to my map render target type. And my I thought that on your individual map you have a current state. So I want to fire this back one more time. So same thing as before. Step into map player, grab this event, put it over here. We're going to do all of this stuff in the next class. So now we go back one more, which is going to be on my map script. So we'll have a protected virtual void awake, and I'm going to do a for each var map render target and map render target scripts, map render target dot event on spline walker event. And then we'll do the same thing down here in a public override void dispose, and we'll get rid of them. Okay. So this is a protected virtual, and we want to move this down here. So what I want to do now is I want to get the next state. That's not quite correct. So what I want to do instead is I want to have a new event in here. I'm going to call this map event handlers. What? This is getting crazy. And for this, I'm going to add a new args here called map. And it's going to be a map event args. And we're going to change that namespace. And now make it public and inherit from base args. And in here I want to have a enum called a map event type. And this first one is going to say go to next node, go to next state. And we're just going to have a map event type called map event type. So this is going to be a map event args. And we need one more, which is called a map next state event args. And in here, I want to have a map state SO called next map state. So this is map go to next state event args. And I don't need all of this. I can get rid of these map event handlers and just use these two. So over here, I want to have a public game event handler. Oh my God. Over here, I want to have a public game event handler called map go to next state event args. And this is going to be a map go to next state event. So when this happens, if this is subscribe, we're going to invoke it, pass over our sender, which is now this. Now this goes on your render target. So here we want to say a switch on my args.type, and if it's done, if my state current is not equal to null, and my state current.next state is not equal to null, then I want to do a map go to next event, and we want to invoke it and pass in this, and then a new event args, which is going to be a event type, which is a go to next state, and then my next map state is going to be state current dot map state next so. So over here, this is now a map go to state event. What is wrong here? On map go to next state event. And we'll just add it here as a protected virtual void this, which is an object sender, and then my map go to next state event args called args. And then we'll get rid of it down here. So now that I have my next state, I want to have a protected abstract void called set next state. Which is going to be a map go to next steps event args. And all you want to pass in here is your map state SO. Like that, and then we'll do a set next state, which is my args.mapStateSO. OK. That should do it. Back over here, we've got a couple of errors. The first is that we need to implement these abstract classes. So if my map state so dot map, what do you have in here? Is a, if I go back here, I want to have a type T, which is going to be MS, where MS is a type of map state SO. Map state what was it called? Map state desert SO. And now what I can do is I can say my current state is equal to my map state desert SO dot state type. And I can do the same thing for second. So we're going to add another object in here called map generic script. Which is going to inherit map script. And then our map script isn't going to have this. So now in our map generic script, I want to leave that and get rid of everything else. But I need to leave these signatures where we assign and the events. So now we're subscribing these events and then setting everything with our generic, which now means this is a map generic script. And then this one is a map generic script of type map state home SO. Which means we need to have this. And what we're going to do is just set my current state equals to my map state SO dot mat home state. And then where this is called here, I want to say start movement. Let's go ahead and take a look. Map script. So what that will allow us to do is in my state for the desert trails. I put them in the wrong spot. Is this map state next goes on this object. Which means this is map state SO. So now when I look at this, I can say that my mountain is going to be followed by my number 4, which is mountain low, which will be followed by number 5. Now, when we go to the next state, we need a different version of this. We want to say bool redraw texture equals false. So I want to say, if you are redrawing the texture, we'll call this the foreground. Then we want to get the texture and set all that. And then set this to my render texture. That's right. This will change later. That should do it. So over here in Start Movement, I want to have a bool which says redraw foreground equals true. Which means that when we are calling that from here, I want to pass in here my true. We'll just keep everything hard typed here. So we'll set the other ones here to be false. Shit. This one is false. These ones are true. So now when I look at this, and I look at my render target, and then over here, 4, 5, and then 5. So we'll set the map to be equal to my mountain, and we'll start it. You can see it draw. It just went back. That one worked. So one of these was wrong. So mountain and now when I look at this, state 4 So, I mean, when I look at these, this state it's going to be this one for the front and this one for the back. And that's right. And then when you go to state 4, interesting. State 4 needs to be weird. It only goes 4 to 5 on all of these. So 5 should be this one. And then 6 is out. 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So back down here, so this is going to be 3.1. This will be 3.2. And then this will be 3.3. So 4, 5 is going to be for these two. So when we look at this again, we can see it goes out Jumps down, starts to go around the mountain, goes around again. And you can see we missed a piece here. So to do that, when I look at my images, images, maps, desert. We're going to add one here called 4.5. Well, it can't be that one. So I'm going to call it 5.0. And then 5.1. There we go. So when I look at this, we go from here to there. So we're going to change on my render targets here. If I look at this, I want to change my roads here to be this one. And I want to change this one to be this one. So when I look at this trail here, we're going to say this is 5.1. And this one's going to be 5.2. We're going to delete this, and I'm going to call this 5.1 and add in the Bezier curve. Sorry, Bezier spline. When I look at where 4 ends, I want to take it from here and just curve it around to here. Okay. So when I look at my states, I'm going to call this 3.0. And where I look at my state type, I want to add in here a mountain turn. So now I can add in here a map state desert called map desert trails underscore state underscore 3.1. Add that to the asset database. Come on. Like that. We want trails 3 and 4. I don't think that's right anymore. We'll look. And my next map state will be 3.1. So this will go to 3.1. This will be map state turn. This will be low. This will be medium. So when I look at my textures, we have this 5. So we're going to have a a 5.0. Oh, I don't even need that. I can just have this as a 5. Oh no, but it's not going to erase correctly. So 5.0 and then a 5.1. And then 5.1 is after everything has been revealed, so that one. So down here on the states, we go to the mountain, then we make a turn. So it goes from 3 should be the scorpion. Four should take us to the mountain. This should be almost had it there. This should be 4 on the background and then 5.0 on the front. And then we're going to change it to be 5.1 there. And then 5.1 here. So when I start this thing at the right state called mountain, you can see it draws it out. If I look at my states that are defined here on the render target, this is the problem. We're going to drop back here to have 4 of these things. So when I look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, which takes us into number 5, which should be 3.1. Mountain, right. This is mountain turn, which is trail 5. Then we're going to have 3.2, which is low, which is 5.1. And then we're going to have 7, which is 3.3 and 5.2. And now we'll give that a try. You can see the road goes. You can see the turn. Let's go back and fix that. This one, we want this to come from way back here. Okay. I'll check that again. Okay, the turn still didn't look right. Let's watch that again. Okay, so now this one went far too low. Like that. It started in such a strange place. Is it because it's going backwards? It's not. If I look at that again, three and 4. What the hell is happening on my phone? Okay. I just want to look at that flat. That's the turn. So it does 4. Oh, and it's overdrawing this one. See, it didn't start right. If I watch this spline, I don't even see it begin. Slow it down, try it again. Still didn't get what's happening there. It's like changing the foreground. That's what it's doing. It's changing the foreground. So it means that in this one, when we go from 3 to 4, I want to keep this as a 3. And your foreground should be the same. Let's move this back here. Try it again. Yeah, so that's what was happening. So up here, we need to move this one a little bit further up. Try it again. Good. That one goes just a little bit too far on the turn. That's good. Now we can see it making its way up to the top of the mountain. Okay, if I look at these things again, we need this to go up a little bit more. And then down here on these ones, we want these to go further back like that and be aligned. They can't be that far back because they don't want to erase on the next one. Maybe you just want to come straight down with it like that. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. The thing I didn't like was this curve is too long. Still too long. Okay, let's see. It's getting better. We can even go a little bit more. too far. Good. Good. All right, it went a little bit too high on this trail. And on 5, we can do that. Speed everything up. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. So now we need to finish it up, which is our final trail. Call it Spline Trail 5.3. And I want to make it a Bezier spline. And we'll move my points to be here and then like here. And I don't know where those footprints are. So I'm just kind of guessing that it's going to cross them some point here. Okay, and this is going to be a new state called a map desert trails underscore state underscore 3.4, which goes to here in the asset database. So you have 3.1. Desert, mountain. I don't see any of those states in here except for 3.1. So don't even worry about that for now. Okay. So 3.3 is going to go to 3.4. This is mountain medium. Mountain turn, mountain low, mountain medium, we want to do trails 4 with a background of 5.1. My map state next is map desert trails state 3.4. This is a mountain high. Its duration will be 3. And that will be here in this render target, which will take us to 8. Which is going to be 3.4, 5.3 with game objects visible. Okay, I run that again. Looks good. Looks good. And there's our top footprints. Now I think it's got a self-referencing loop here, so we can get rid of that. And that is good. So our next step is this one. We want to cross here. That one's very straightforward. So down here, I'm going to make a new map state desert. And we're going to call this state 4. My material on the background is going to be 6. My material on the foreground is 5.1. My state, next, don't have one. This state is crossing. So on my render target, we want to add a new component here. And this is 4. We want this one to be 3.5. I'm going to make this a new state called reveal. Like that. Okay, when that happens, I want this to appear and these roads to appear. Okay, so let's make sure I add that in here on the target, which is called 3.5. It doesn't need a spline. And we want to add in here my game objects for the clay. If I look inside of this map state for where the spline is used, that one's fine. Because otherwise you want to fire an event here, right? If no spline is set, you want to fire an event to do something else. So down here, when you're doing start movement, you want to say if my spline walker script.spline is not equal to null, then you want to do a start movement. Otherwise, you want to do a spline walker event and invoke your sender, and then, which is this, and then a new args, which is going to be done. Okay. So here, if my map state desert so of my state current dot map state of my desert state type equals reveal, and because this is going to be reveal, so my render type here is going to be trails. Like that. This is going to be event for revealing map. And then I'm going to want to fire an event outside of this. So we'll just do a debug.log here for event for revealing map. Let's just make sure this I didn't break anything. So when this runs, here we go. Creates the road. Object not set. What happened there? That all looks fine. It's because you don't always have this state current. Let's try it again. Okay, there it goes. It goes up the mountain. That was good. So in our event, I want to have a new event type here. Pardon me. So we need this event to fire because it's specific to this instance. But I know my map script. So I could say map script.render targets.first or default, the one where my type is equal to roads. And now I want to do a road render target.set state. That wasn't right. You want to do this start movement. Can I do a road render target.state? If I look at this again, that is this same thing. So I'm essentially self-referencing here. And then I want to say it's on your map. if I look here, my road render target's got 3 states. So we actually want to set the interesting. Because this is going to capture that it's a reveal. Then I want to go to the next state, which fires it. So this is going to be a map go to next state event. And I want to pass in here my next map state. Which is going to be your state current dot next state. Like that. And then we'll pass that in. So in my map state desert, we want to have a new one here called revealing. So we'll make a new state for the desert called map desert trails state 3.6. Call it revealing. You want to call it on this one. And we want to have a public version, which is going to be a go to next state, which is just going to be this. As a map state SO. We'll just call it go to state. So here we're going to do road target equals your map script dot map render targets dot first or default, where my type is equal to roads road target dot set next state to be go to state to be state current dot map state so dot map state next, and then go to state of the same. And this is going to be go to state, which is this. So back up here, this is our next state, which is called revealing. We're going to do 4 and 5.1 again. There is no next state on this one. My duration will be 5. Okay, when I look back up here, and my render target roads, we don't have this one defined yet, so we'll worry about that in a second. And this one we're calling revealing. Three 3.5 doesn't do anything except fire 3.6. And 3.6 doesn't have anything except we add in the clay. So when I watch this again, you can see it work its way up. Now it failed because where we set next state, wait for this to start. Okay, here we go. So we get my road target. And what the problem is that you want to go road target.mapStates.first or default, the one where my mapState.type and this is a mapState desert SO called T, and your T.type is revealing. What I'm saying here is I want to get my first map state, which is a desert type, and the desert type is equal to the Current map state as a map state desert SO. And I'm going to say that this is my road target state, which is that one. So over here, road target state 3 is there. State 3.6 is there. I don't see state 3.5. Like that. Try it again. You wait for it. It does revealing. Same problem. If I look here, that's state 2, state 3. That's it. This one needs to have clay here. State 3 is revealing. Let's just attach and watch it again. Okay, here we go. We got a road target. We get my road target state. We go to that state. My next state is a map state desert MS. Okay, we set that state. What changed state current? But that wasn't null a second ago. What is changing there? Okay, we set the road target. I look at my next state, and it is revealing. Did it error? Three 3.5, 3.6. So revealing doesn't have a next state. Let's go ahead and check that again. Unless I'm wrong, can't I just do that? Hey there, Metin34. Welcome back. How are you doing? It's been a little bit of a time. Why is it doing that? I'm doing good, thanks, says Metin. I'm doing pretty well today. Getting a lot done. I think we're going to do some streaming during the week this week. I want to get this project completed. We go to the next state. That worked. And then now we're going to set each one of those. So this map render target. That should start both of them. If I look at my target 3 for revealing, we don't have this spline. Very nice project, I believe you. Oh, have you not seen it? I can show you what we have. We have a demo up at pixelhorrorstudios.com, but it's quite aged now. Try it again. We can save ourselves some time and just do this as a reveal. It did draw something. Let's try it again. I look at where the player road is. The player moved for some reason. So let's make sure that when we do this, okay, my next state is revealing. I don't understand what the hell it's doing. Because it doesn't have a state. assigned for 3.6. All right, guys, I've been going for like 4 hours. I gotta go get some food. Thanks for staying with me. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more this afternoon. I may stream it, I may not, but we'll be back tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, make sure you pop in our Discord, discord.pixelhorrorstudios.com, and I put all these videos up at youtube.pixelhorrorstudios.com. Thanks again, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you a little later. Bye.